What's up, guys? So this next installment of my Navy question series is coming at you from, let me make sure I get this name right because it's a kind of a long name, Totally Awesome Music King Studios. And they asked me, how did I learn music while in the Navy? And that's a little bit inaccurate, or a bit of a misnomer, because I actually learned the majority of what I know about music before the Navy, but it was kind of a latent thing because I wasn't able to do anything about it for the majority of the time I was in the Navy. And I started pursuing it again once I got out. And I'll give a little bit of a timeline of my, learning of the music. I started playing drums, fledglingly when I was 6. I got bored with it, and I stopped after about a year. Then I played on and off and on again until around the age of, I still play a little bit. I still have an electric drum set that I can't play right now because of my Japanese apartment, but I still know how to. I'm not the best drummer in the world, but I still get down sometimes. Then I started learning guitar when I was 13. And that's how I taught. The majority of my knowledge about music revolves around guitar. Then, I played trumpet and percussion when I was in high school and marching band. I was a pretty horrible student, at least a music student, because I hated learning the structures of music. I liked the theory and everything, but I hated learning a bunch of classical music. I wanted to just make music. That felt like I didn't really want to learn how to be a jukebox. So, I'm a pretty decent guitarist, I consider myself. I remember something I always tell people with guitar, it's the same way I approach everything. I pretty much gave up on guitar after my first week of playing. Then I started again, then I gave up again, then I started again, then I gave up again. And it was like that for the first 2 years. Then after about 2 years of learning an instrument, it just sort of clicks with you. And, so if you can make it over that hurdle, you should be fine. Because unless you're really going to do something with it, unless you're really passionate about it, you're just going to waste a bunch of time. I don't mean to discourage anybody, but that's just just my opinion about it. But then, I was in the Navy for 9 years, and I didn't get back into music. I've always listened to a bunch of music. I've always loved music. But I didn't really get into, making music or even making an attempt at any of that until I was 25. And it was merely by accident because I started making my earliest videos on YouTube of me playing guitar just to show people that I was more than just, this boring Navy guy. And I bought an iPad so that I could make better guitar videos, because that was going to be my YouTube thing. I was just going to, post my guitar ideas. But then, lo and behold, I discovered the GarageBand app, and that is where everything started from. My earliest albums, which they only date back a couple years, were all made on GarageBand, and then I kind of expanded from there. I downloaded I went through and downloaded every single one of the apps that Gorillaz used to make their album of the fall, because I found out they made the entire album not using one iPad, using 2. And that kind of pissed me off because I can't just buy a second iPad. I was lucky to be able to afford a first one with my fiscal irresponsibility. But so I played around with those apps, and the thing is, it's the same with guitar. I taught myself, so my knowledge of music is pretty much just intuitive. So really not just music, but with anything. If you really want to learn it, just go for it. Because I'm still learning how to make videos the same I'm still learning how to make music. You just put it out there. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But all that matters is if you like it. So this is barely related to the Navy, but it was asked, so I had to answer the question. I hope I answered it thoroughly. If you have more questions, more specifics about music or more specifics about the Navy, be sure to ask. So as always, if you like my video, subscribe. If you like my music, buy it. And if you hate me, tell everybody. Out.
Pizza boy Nizza. Pizza boy Nizza. Pizza bonita. Pizza bonita.